Let's call to order the North Hudson Public Works meeting on Thursday, February 26, 2018 at 5:32 p.m. And roll call, Ted Head.
Here.
Brian Pike here. Tim Zeiss.
Here.
Number 2, approve the minutes from the October 17, 2017 Public Works meeting. Any questions or additions?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Ted, motion to approve. Tim, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 3, Public Works salt shed possible options, discussion only. And Patrick.
Hey, I had gotten a quote. I checked, Kevin had given me some information, so I checked on a different type of shed, get a different idea of what we're looking at. It looked like, sorry for being out of breath. It looked like, it was through Structures Unlimited. Looks like their quote was $32,680, and that's the fabric with the stacking 3 rows of cement blocks high all the way around it. He did say that we could possibly go with only 2 high, but then that's my only fear is if we have to put a lot of salt in it, that we wouldn't have the stability on the sides or whatever. Yeah.
2 high or 3 high is what you're saying?
I would just as soon see you go 3 high. If we're gonna build it, we might as well build it
Right,
so
okay.
it's gonna last.
And the quote is on the 3 high?
Yeah, and that's $32,680.
All right.
So it's well under our $60,000, whatever we thought would be available. So I just wanted to, I guess, just make you guys aware of that
Okay.
I was still looking at that stuff.
Anything else on the salt shed?
I haven't heard anything back from,
Okay.
North,
The
so,
other possibility?
yeah, so, no, nothing new on that horizon. I'm guessing it's probably gonna be
Okay.
till the snow goes.
All right. Any questions about the salt shed?
Now, that's 32,600, just the structure itself, does that count for everything
That's
underneath?
everything.
That's everything, okay.
Except for us putting the base down. And we could do that, Public Works could do that.
Okay, that's, okay, good.
But there's some costs there, right? Materially and labor?
Yeah, we'll have some class 5.
Why don't you figure that in to your overall?
Okay.
When we go to present it, I wanna show the whole thing,
Yeah,
Okay, all right, I'll do that.
right?
I agree.
Okay.
Anybody else? I don't wanna hear that from you, short timer.
Still live here, won't you?
Kevin? This includes a cover of some type, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
got a
Yeah.
fabric.
It's a fabric cover?
It doesn't,
When you say fabric cover, I mean, is this a rollback thing or that? You guys see what they mean by cover? And,
So what about, does this include there was some drainage
That's what I was wondering too.
that had
that'll
to
be the base.
put into it, so
We'll-
we would be doing that, or that?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
and this is a lot of, what about, is this something that needs inspection by DNR?
I don't think so, as
Any
as of yet,
permits,
I
no
don't-
permits necessary? We got everything in that 32.
Yeah, there shouldn't be.
shouldn't be anything. I'll do some more checking and make
Well, I'm
sure.
assuming the salt's gonna go on the road anyway, so, right, it's what,
It's just like in the summertime, they wanna have it so that the water collects into the center, so it
Yeah.
doesn't bleed out. That's the biggest thing that the DNR wants,
Okay.
so.
They just wanna make sure it's not running into the lakes and rivers. And
Yeah.
right.
Any length of time this building is estimated to live at would be something the board's probably gonna wanna know too. I do too.
Estimated what now?
How long will it last,
Like,
the
they
structure?
It's, he said there's a 20-year guarantee on the
That seems
fabric.
about right, yeah.
On the fabric itself?
Yeah. I would
What kind of fabric
assume
is it?
that would be
Does
the
it Get
weakest.
some kind of salt into the fabric as it sits there, or?
There's
suppose
getting
it
to be a
could.
lot more of those things around. Communities are looking
Mixture
at
of
those.
cotton wool, polynylon.
I've had to ask about your underwear, dude.
What do you mean, what kind of fabric is it? It's got a 20-year warranty.
All right,
Who cares
20
what
year.
it is?
That's good.
Just make sure you got the warranty.
20's good. All right, any other, there is no action on that, any other discussion? All right, item number 4, snow plowing report, discussion only. Patrick?
I had just made up a little statement I wanted to read. So far this winter, Public Works has been able to complete plowing of the village streets on its own, with the exception of the last 12-inch snowfall. During this event, Zappa Brothers helped us out. Public Works was very appreciative. Before that snow, we, Public Works, Jeff Bongard, Joe Curran, and I were able to completely plow the village streets in about 4 hours. With that being said, I believe the purchase of the new plow truck has greatly improved our efficiency in snow plowing operations, and I would like to thank the residents and the board of the village of North Hudson for the purchase of that.
Okay. So we've got a decent snow event coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Tonight?
Saturday. And Saturday.
Well, I saw advisory all the way through Sunday.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the residents about the next several days? Are they getting their cars off the road for you and stuff like that?
Yeah, that hasn't been that big of an issue,
Okay.
for us. There's a couple spots here and there, but I understand that some people don't have off-street parking,
Right.
so it's tough to
Right.
move your vehicle around. I mean, we're generally out there the next day or days after doing our cleanup anyways, and cleaning out catch basins and stuff like that, so it hasn't been an issue with cars in the way, so.
Okay. So do you keep a running total on contractor hours and usage so that you'd be able to keep us surprised
Yeah,
of where
we
we're
got-
at versus I know we have a contract, in this case with Zappa,
Yep.
and, maybe next time you could let us know about where we're at on that, especially since we got a snowfall coming.
We just got a bill, and I'm gonna just throw this shoot from the hip, but I think, if I recall right, it was less than half of what our allotted amount
Allotted
is.
hours are, okay. And that's important because Gary was kind enough to let us reduce the contract amount to see how it goes with the new truck, and
Yep.
we appreciate that, Gary. Thank you very much. Any other questions or discussion on snow plowing? All right. Item number 5, annual inspection and service of sanitary sewer lift stations, discussion and possible recommendation. Patrick?
I kind of messed that up a little bit. I really don't have a recommendation. So you can call foul on me. I guess the one thing, and we can get into that when I guess either way, I can talk about it now, or I can talk about it in the future. Public Works, water and sewer.
That's fine.
Needs, either way you want. But obviously we're having issues with the Cedar lift station. Has been kind of a thorn in my side. I just got back from there now. What ended up happening was the rags got caught in the impeller, which stopped the motor, and in turn, burned out a rotophase, which is, I don't know, what is it, a device or so? It's a conversion down underneath that converts one-phase power to three-phase power, and it burned out half of it. So in order to, instead of rebuilding that, because it was really old and rusty from sitting down there and whatever, we got VFDs, which are variable frequency drives,
Yeah.
and that took the place of that, so now everything is up in that panel. Which everything is working fine with that. The only thing that I'm finding now is that we're still having the rag issues, so that didn't solve that.
Right.
But we did have a company come out, do that work for us. I'm also looking at a few other places. This is the one place that I had gotten some info from. They gave me if I can find them. They gave me their rates, and they're not too far off from everybody else as far as, of course, no, I don't have
As far as total cost
it.
to
As far as the total
deal
cost to
with the
come out.
regs
Yeah, and
and upgrade the lift stations.
yeah, as far as doing that, they wouldn't cost any more. The one nice thing about that company, the guy that had, which one was that? What did I give you?
EPI.
Okay, they don't charge, mileage, they start their mileage from the state line. So from at the river, they're gonna start their mileage.
Versus charging
Versus-
from St. Cloud to here? you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Not to say that there won't be other charges that'll be greater, so I'm not gonna
Right.
give you any false hopes or anything, but I thought about giving them a try, and there's also, general pump repair.
Okay.
I was looking into them, I know Hudson uses them a little bit, so, I had talked to Joe Boudry, and he said that they did a good job for them too, so, I'll probably be getting a few different companies in. Without saying too much, I just think we should explore
Okay,
a few more options
all right.
as far as that. But I do believe that, you know, it's coming to where we're almost gonna have to do something with those pumps, because first it was like a monthly deal where I was going out there. Now this last one, this has been 2 weeks. And I just ran over there, so we've got pump number 2 has failed. And, every time that I have to call a company to come out and do that, it's just ballpark, it's $1,000. So if we were to, well, I'll do that later when we talk about our public works needs and stuff, but, yeah, it's just that I know we're not made of money or anything like that, but, you know, the $1,000 here and there and
This is
every
where we
other
may
month
have
and
to
whatever.
spend some to save some, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, otherwise you're gonna, it's, before you know it, you've already added up to where you could have,
And it seems like as much as we've asked our residents to not flush those wipes down the toilets, they're doing it anyway. So I don't know if that's a communication problem or just an unwillingness for them to, or inability for them to understand how important that is. I'm
So-
quite sure they'd understand if their toilet started backing up,
Mm-hmm.
but we've been able to get to it before then.
So the only place I know where there's actual, like, advertisement of it is on the website. Maybe we should think about putting a mailer out reminding people that this is creating a problem, this is the problem it creates, and this is what it, you know, it's costing. Right? Us as
Yeah,
a village,
and
at the end of the day, all of us, it's costing money, so.
I think Melissa is working on something, trying to get it mailed out with the utility bills.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Yeah.
where it go.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
so she had
Okay.
mentioned that she was checking into that, so hopefully we can get something done that way, because it's just, I mean, it's gonna get really expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, this includes inspection and, not just service, which we've been talking about, but inspection. Are we doing, or planning on doing any inspecting?
I've done 2 of them so far. The one at Cedar, when the guy came out, and the guys came out and they pulled the pumps and took the rags out, they said that everything checked out in that station. And I did look back, and it shows that Cedar, in 2011, the motors were rebuilt with no impellers. But the motors were, and he did say the impellers looked good, and I couldn't find anywhere where the impellers had been rebuilt, but I don't think they last that long, so I'm guessing they probably were redone at some point and not too long ago.
Okay. Any comments from our engineer?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the impellers need to be swapped out to those bladeless ones. Instead of getting clogged in the impeller, they'll actually throw the rags through.
And that's, which lift stations are you recommending that for?
the Cedar one is gonna be the, and then
First.
East Bank.
Yeah,
Cedar, East Bank,
East Bank we were looking at doing what they call a vortex impeller.
okay.
They're
Yes.
different than what you have down there now, but the dry pit pumps, we would look for like a bladeless impeller.
What's the difference between vortex and bladeless?
The vortex actually sits up in the volute more,
Okay,
and it doesn't necessarily come in contact with with all the wastewater
okay,
when it's pumping it up through. It sits up there, it's recessed.
okay.
They're not as efficient, but, you know, with what you have down there, they're a smaller horsepower motor.
Okay,
So you're not gonna see a difference in electricity usage down there necessarily.
and Riverside?
Riverside, I have not been, I don't have a lot of background with that
So we need to
particular
get that.
station.
Which Riverside?
There's two? The
Yeah, there's,
main one, the one that pumps over
The one
to,
that pumps over? We have no access to that.
okay. Why not?
I have no idea. It's locked up. We don't have a key or nothing.
Could we find out why? Number one,
Who services it? Hudson?
Hudson must if they're,
Yeah.
is it ours or is it theirs? Or is that undecided?
You tell
Okay,
me.
well, can you find out?
that's a little bit,
That's what, that's why
part of
this,
the-
that's
that's
why
part of
this
the-
whole thing started,
That's
Brian.
part of the question of the agreement in itself, yeah, and I think up to this point, they've been accessing that.
They're taking care of that.
Well, they must be.
And then what's in question is who's paying for it, so that's really what's in question.
Okay, so assuming since they've got it locked down, they're feeling responsible for that lift station. The other one on Riverside, do we know anything about that?
That one, I haven't done a whole lot to it. That one's,
you haven't had.
I haven't really had a lot of problems with it either. That one is not a real, I don't think has a whole lot of flow, so it's pretty,
So how many we got?
four.
Four
Four,
total.
and then the big one going across is 5.
Okay. So the 35,000 quote we talked to the board about at the last board meeting, that was for two?
Two stations, yeah.
And that's
Cedar and then
East
East
Bank?
Bank.
East Bank. And those are a certain type?
Yeah, you got submersible pumps down here, and then these are a dry pit.
And dry pit.
Yep.
I'm gonna need eventually a sheet that says, this one is this one is this one is this. That would help me.
Oh, okay.
We can come up with something.
And here's what we've got
Can
in
make
each
you that.
one.
It's on our sheets that we fill out every
And
day.
then here's what we think needs to be done, and then even a future line, Kevin, that says, eventually you're gonna need to fix these other two, and here's going forward what you need to plan for,
Yeah.
okay? Any other questions on this subject?
No.
Let me draw you a map.
We've got a map.
Start.
We actually have a map. I just haven't looked at it in a while. All right, thank you. Item number 6, future public works, water, sewer needs, discussion only. Patrick?
Okay, the first thing I'd like to bring up is I'd gotten a quote on a backup generator. I'm not positive that this one will work, like I haven't plugged it in and made it run, but 90% sure that it could,
Backup generator 4.
to run our lift stations in case the power goes out here and in Hudson. Because we don't have a generator
Really?
to,
When you say "and in Hudson," are you talking about the Hudson Riverside?
well, no, I mean, what if the power were to go out in both places and we use their generator, I mean,
Oh,
to run our, you know what I mean? So I guess it's something to put on the radar that, that's something we probably wouldn't be a bad investment.
So you basically then, Patrick, would go to all 4 or 5 of them to
Well, it's
keep,
portable, yeah, so,
right.
that one there.
How much, spend so much time in each one of them, go to the next one? Yep.
Yeah, just pump them down.
Alternate,
and-
yeah.
I mean,
Down.
And I've kept up that way when
You
I
have,
first
okay.
started here. We had to shut them all down because they were fixing the one down on Riverside, the big one,
Okay,
so that they could control the flow. So I actually ran with my pickup around to all 4 stations all day and pump them down, turn them off, go to the next one, pump them down. So it can be done. It's not, they don't fill up that fast, so. So it's just some food for thought on that one, I
What-
guess.
What do you guys think about the possibility of getting a,
So normally how, we would borrow one from Hudson? Is that the,
Yeah, they have two,
yeah.
one for the water department and one for the sewer.
So if power goes out both places when Jenny doesn't work, then we gotta run somewhere to get one,
yeah, we're in trouble.
right?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think, is this a proposal here? I mean, we gotta write this, I mean.
Well, I just got the information, that's just one quote that I
Okay.
got, just to
Yeah.
get you guys kind of a ballpark.
Do you guys think we should have a backup generator? I mean, we're not gonna authorize this one tonight, but.
No.
Yes, I think we should have a backup
I
generator.
think we're a public works department, I
let's
think we
do.
should have backup generator, but I'd like to see quotes and everything, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I say, I got this one, and I,
I mean, I get a Honda, I'll
Get 'em.
rent you out for like, you know,
yeah, but it has to
120.
run three-phase.
I'm just saying, we can
So
work
you
something
might-
So
out
you're
here.
gonna take that to the next step, for next meeting. Bring it as a proposal with several quotes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you.
all right,
In
yep,
other words, use the quotes you got there.
That's just one quote.
use those.
It's gotta
No,
be
I
a
thought I
couple.
saw a couple in there, didn't I? Or is that
It's all the
just?
same company.
Oh, it was auction service, yeah, they
Oh,
were,
there was two?
they were a little bit higher.
Okay.
So there was two, I'll get one more.
Mississippi and OSC, okay, yeah, so you're gonna get one more? All right.
Yep,
Okay, anything else
Okay.
on future?
yeah, sorry about that. And then, I guess getting back to the lift stations, I did some pricing on if we were to buy a new pickup and then put a contractor's box and then get our own crane, you know, like Hudson has, we wouldn't need that big a one, get a smaller crane. I got a quote from Truck Utilities, and this is only one, and that's, like I say, this is just kind of a future thing. This would definitely save us money in the long run. It would cost you outright, but that's about what it would cost for a bare bones,
And the purpose of this?
truck box for pulling the pumps at the lift stations.
Okay, and it would save us how? Because,
Well, if either I call to get help or I call a pump company to come out, and it's, like I said, it's about $1,000 for them to come out and just pull some rags out of a pump and put them back in.
so on our own.
This,
Repair it.
yeah, and this would allow us to, we could pull them up,
Lift them.
look at them, oh, they need wear rings or what, I mean, we could visually see the external stuff. If something was wrong, we could say, hey, this is going out, and maybe catch it before it goes bad or whatever,
Okay.
you know?
Any other uses that there are for that lift? Would it benefit you guys in any other way? Because if so, you should noodle on it and add that before the board meeting or before it makes it to finance.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Because there's the whole issue of the ad hoc. And then that brings into question whether, how long, I mean, he's saying 19, but even that's not certain. So if there are other uses that you guys might have, noodle on it and put those down as other benefits to
Okay.
us.
Okay. I mean, obviously, we would be able to, not that we lift a lot of heavy things, but anything that we couldn't handle, you could use the crane for.
Yep, I'm just saying,
yeah.
ask your guys and
Yep.
see if there are some other possible uses of it.
Okay.
Any other questions, Ted or Tim, about that possibility?
Well, this would be used both for probably not only just repair, but also maintenance, right? I mean,
Yeah,
so I would write it up that way. I mean, this would be for both, because,
I mean, there is also the fact that if a pump goes down, we could, if we only had one go down, and like I say, this might be something that would rarely happen, or maybe not often, but we could pull that one pump out, take it somewhere, get it repaired, bring it back and throw it in, and you wouldn't have that mileage charge, you wouldn't
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
installation, whatever charge, you know, there's some advantages to it, I guess, otherwise I wouldn't have brought it up.
Well, write it up that way, possible cost savings, here, here,
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Okay. Other futures?
And then I didn't get any quotes on a valve turner, but that's just something kind of on a wish list, I guess. Right now, we will just do them by hand. But all the gate valves in the village, like, most other municipalities have, it's either hydraulic or electric. It's a tool that goes down in there and then it spins it so you're not walking in circles all day long, going from valve to valve, which, we don't have a terrible big amount of them, and we'll pound them out and do whatever we can. Or, I was also told that like rural water has some of that stuff, rural water, that we're a member of.
Okay.
And, we can possibly rent that, but you have to actually rent is a strong word. They let you use it because you're a member of their. So, I'll probably get on that list this year so that we can use that or try it out or whatever.
Sure.
And, another thing that wouldn't be a big ticket item because we have, a generator, and an air tank, a small generator. We don't have a big generator. We have a little one, would be a sandblast tank, which we could use for painting fire hydrants. We could use it for, if we have to make any repairs or anything on any steel, we could sandblast stuff off, repaint it. You can also, that's what they used to do the catch basins. They would sandblast that off and then apply that stuff. There's different uses, but like I say, that's not really a need or anything. It's just something that I'm throwing out there that would make things a little bit easier, little faster. So I think that does it for my Christmas list.
Okay.
And,
Any question on any of those items?
Nope.
All right, I have nothing for item number 7, chair update. Item number 8, engineers report.
All right, so this is just memo I put together. I think, Brian, you were looking for this, just kind of a recap of what we did last year. Some of the upcoming things for this year. And first page there, looks like we did about 8 things. Just quickly go down through these storm sewer catch basin repairs. We worked with ESS Brothers to get 66 storm sewer catch basins repaired within the village using the Flex Seal utility sealant system. Yes.
What's the plan for this year? That wasn't in your future items.
it wasn't.
And street, is it gonna be in your, director's report?
Sorry, yeah, I'll put it in there.
That street sweeping, patching, remember that discussion? You ready for that?
I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I'm not
continue-
really ready for it, but we'll do
continue,
it.
sir.
All right. The Wisconsin Street project, that was some funding that you got from the DOT, which involves, we needed to select a consultant to do the design portion of that, and Core was the one that you had chosen. It's one other item that we worked on, the DOT, the Highway 35, the cost sharing items. There's quite a little bit of discussion on that, on what the village wanted to see included, some of the cost sharing items, and they chose to include the landscaping and the new sidewalk on the east side from Michelson to Summer Street.
Kevin, can I pause you again?
Sure.
On number 2, where is that at?
That one we have been, since we didn't budget any dollars for design for this year,
Yeah,
we've kind of put that project on hold.
the whole project? I mean, it's still moving though, right?
Well,
From the government side of the,
there actually was some dollars that came available towards the end of last year,
yeah?
but you guys have been through your budgeting cycle already. So we told them that we were gonna have to put this on hold till the next budget cycle, which would be this fall. So they're basically just kinda at a standstill for now,
They're waiting on us.
until we
Okay.
have some funds that are available, so you can pay your 20% of, it's 80% DOT funded, 20% local funds.
And Melissa's aware of
Yep.
what funds she needs.
There's a time limit on it, isn't there?
There is, you can, and what we're trying to do is get this project completed after the Highway 35 project is.
Right, I
Right.
remember that.
So we're gonna probably have to ask for a time extension with this project. to make
But
that
we're
to
not
work.
gonna lose it, right?
Nope.
Is
not
there,
gonna
and
lose
so you're gonna have on an engineering's report for the board or finance committee or something, right? That we need to move, we need to do this and this by this date?
it. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
don't forget. All right,
We
sorry,
should be good.
continue.
So then number 4, the Artisan North subdivision. And we went through a bunch of reviews on that. They were able to get the sanitary sewer and the water main and the service installed last fall, winter. So there will be some remaining work that'll have to be done come this spring. Storm sewer, stormwater management ponds, the street curb and gutter, and the final restoration. What's outstanding out there right now. There's 2 homes down there now, and I know he's sold a few more lots, so sounds like the development as a whole is moving along fairly quickly. We looked at your 5-year capital improvement plan, forwarded that to the village board for final approval. Talked about the Highway 35, the sanitary and sewer and water main design, since that's a DOT project. You know, there's a lot of hurdles to timelines to goes along with that, so we got to go ahead to start that work. Field work is completed, and we'll look at doing the design work this year for
Is
the
that
utilities.
when, approximately?
We're gonna have to have probably the majority of them done by end of this year
Okay,
to meet their timeline. Pacer ratings, that's every 2 years. We rated those in October, and that was uploaded into the Whistler program by December 31st of last year. And then we did the application, the LRIP funding for the St. Croix Street portion, and those dollars were awarded. After did a good
What was
job.
it, 17 and some change, I think we got.
nice.
Yep.
So we will be seeing a SMA agreement coming in front of the Public Works, probably in April of this year is what they've slated to have those out. So the sunset date is June 30th of 2023, so you would have to have the construction started the previous year to get your reimbursement, so. And then some of the upcoming items for this year. Continue to talk about, the sewer and water on Highway 35, the Wisconsin Street North engineering design. There's been some water main breaks that have taken place on 8th Street, and like 3 of them up there. So probably should look into that. Artisan North, completion of that subdivision this year. St. Croix Street, the municipal agreement. And then there's been talk about, the Quick Trip.
Really, is that actually gonna happen?
I've heard that they've kind of put that on hold because they've got so many other projects in the pipeline right now. And I know they had said that they had to work with the current owner to extend the agreement. So,
Over here behind Mama Maria's.
just
They,
know,
did they purchase that property?
I don't know necessarily that they purchased it, but they have some kind of agreement in place. Because they gotta get, all their approvals in
Yeah.
place. So, but the last thing that I heard, talking with Scott Tigan, is they might have put that on for hold for a year. They have another one that we're looking at doing in Menominee, and I know that one's been delayed for a year. They bought a bunch of PDQs down in Madison. So I think they're kind of concentrating on those, upgrading those. So not necessarily that would actually happen this year.
Any questions about what Kevin presented?
No, this is good.
Just one question, 8th Street water main breaks, what are we doing about that?
I think we're gonna start looking at cost estimates for what it would take.
Okay, and you're gonna have that by,
Whatever you would want them. Whenever you want to start
when was the
talking.
last break?
Jeez, it was a little-
November, October is, it's in my
That was
head.
when the 2 were, October, November. Yep.
Okay, so just so you know, if it breaks again, I'm gonna be looking for it at the next finance committee meeting. I just, you know, I
Oh,
don't know
nothing.
how fast to tell you to work it, I just,
Nothing will happen.
huh? I just, if it keeps busting, I'm a little nervous about it, I guess. Okay. All right, future agenda items, any additional from you two?
Any report from the director, are you,
Oh, I skipped that one,
Yeah, he
sorry.
doesn't want it, I guess.
No, sorry, item number 9, director's report.
So, to answer your question about the funds for this summer, I've already gotten, put in, to get on the list for St. Croix County to do, seal coating, spray patching, crack filling. I also sent out an ad to the paper. I'll get some bids again so that we can make sure and keep them honest, so that you guys can see, you know, what it would cost to have whoever do it versus St. Croix County. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. We have, I wanna say we got 18,000 for spray patching, 20,000 for, crack filling, and 30,000 for street chip sealing. So, I plan to use most of that and get the streets in shape. So that's, as far as that goes, we'll just have to wait until the bids come in and whatever, and then I'll present that stuff to you guys
Okay, I wanna know what,
as soon as I get them.
we have a plan, right? We know what street, when,
Oh, yes.
each year?
What I wanted to do is, yeah, I have a map in the office, that it just goes off of our Whistler rating pretty much, or it's pretty close to it. Whatever streets are the worst, those are the ones we're gonna concentrate on, except for probably St. Croix Street. I probably won't seal coat that because it probably needs to be pulverized and overlaid, and that's where we got the LRIP funding for, so.
Right.
I'll kinda, I'll keep it together, but,
Here's a question. I remember that when we would get quotes and we were bouncing around the village from this side to this side to this side, doing, seal coating,
mhm.
it seemed like, I don't know how to get there, but it seemed like if we would take the village section by section, the price would go down because we're not asking the contractor to bounce.
And that's kinda what I've done this year, is I'm just gonna stay in one section so that they're not picking up and going here and there. And to be honest, I mean, there could be times when we need that. We have a real bad winter and the roads are terrible, they may have to jump around, but if we
Little bit,
don't
yeah.
have to, I won't make them do that, because I think you get a much better job if you just, if you can
Yeah.
just spray oil or whatever you're gonna do and just concentrate on one area.
Yeah.
To me, you do, so.
Does that make sense?
yep,
That's kinda what I've
Okay.
done this year with the chip sealing.
I wanna see a plan,
Okay,
next meeting,
okay.
and approximate dates, include street sweeping.
They're not gonna give you dates.
I mean, in your mind, approximate dates, based
Okay.
on last year, you know.
Okay, and I'll call, the street sweeping, I guess I'll do the same as we did last year for the spring, and then his contract ends before the second.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird, I don't know why it's set up.
Can't you fix that?
I should probably talk to him and see if we can fix that and just do it in the winter time instead of.
It should be like an annual thing.
Yeah, well, it is, it's
But
every
it's-
year right in between the two.
Yeah, but, I mean, set it up on a calendar year.
Like in December when we
Yeah.
have our big meeting.
Right,
Yep.
that'd be great, because, I mean, if you could get it set up before we do budget, then we're budgeting for the street sweeping for the whole of the next year, if you
Yeah.
will. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yep, no, you're right, yep. Okay, and then I was gonna give you a update, Jeff Bongard had taken his, test to become a certified water operator, and we just got the certificate in the mail, he passed, so he has his, I have mine, Joe will be next. I actually got upgraded, I was a grade T, now I'm a grade 1 operator, you do that after a year, whatever. And then Joe and I have signed up to take a course over at Bethel University in the cities, or in Minnesota, to take a short course on becoming an arborist. Joe has some background in that. He has a degree in that type of stuff, so I'd like to maybe let him go that way. And along with that, I was also talking to some people, when you get into this, whatever program over there, they send you a lot of stuff, and it's like you can sign up for grants, so you wanna keep track of things. We could possibly get grants for equipment or whatever, whatever, lawnmowers or chainsaws or whatever we may need, and that would help.
So with a certified person on our staff, you're saying we get access to these kinds of things?
Just being whatever, I went to their website, it was through the University of Minnesota, and I was given direction by Tom Zulli that
Okay.
he has done that, and he's the one that told me about this. He said,
Okay.
once you get in it, he said, you're gonna find out that there's a lot of advantages to being in it, so.
Great.
Good.
So hopefully, and I believe that's March 13th is when we're gonna go over and do that, so.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
Any questions for our director?
None, good.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay. Item 10, future agenda items. Anybody? I think we kind
You went through it. most of
of,
it.
we kind of listed a bunch of them already.
Yep.
All right, with that, item 11 is adjournment. We are hereby adjourned at 6:13 PM. Thank you.